to the Making Stories podcast. I am completely blanking on what number we're up to, even though I literally checked it.
30, I think 34.
Yeah, I think it is too. I literally just checked it. It's 34. Welcome to the Making Stories podcast, episode 34. My name is Claire. I'm the marketing social media manager here at Making Stories, and across the way is my lovely boss friend and colleague Hanna Lisa, and this is our podcast about all things making stories with a real focus on sustainability and mainly what's on our needles. And if you don't know what Making Stories is, it is us, along with another bunch of lovely people who make up our team, and we produce a bi-yearly magazine. We sell gorgeous wools, and everything's sustainably made and lovely. So welcome here for this episode, and a huge welcome back to Hanna Lisa, who's been away for the past couple of weeks getting married. Congratulations,
What?
love.
Thank you. It feels a little bit weird, because I mean we've been legally married for over 3 years now, but then freaking COVID hit, and so we never got to actually have our wonderful, because we got like the courtroom marriage is just the two of us, no one else there, and then we had planned this big celebration for the summer of 2020, and as we all know, that was not a good idea. And then it was planned for the summer of 2021, and then it still wasn't a good idea. And then it was planned for the summer of 2022, and we actually did it. Yay! And there is a ring on my finger now. Yay!
Good work.
It was wonderful. Like, it was seriously, we were just chatting about this before. Like, I think it will take weeks and months for us to still process everything. But it was like, it was a dream. It was literally one of the best weeks of my entire life so far.
That's so nice. I'm so glad it was fun. I was so sorry I couldn't be there. I sulked the entire time. Though I did do I'm so glad to hear it didn't rain actually for the ceremony, and it absolutely poured down here. And I was like, I did a little prayer to the wedding gods. I was like, let's hope I'm getting the rain and Hanna Lisa isn't, and it turns out you were.
Like, I'm just pulling all of the rain over to Canada. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah. Oh, and it was also just so good because I didn't have to do any work at all. Like, I was completely offline for 1.5 weeks, knowing that Making Stories, this other baby of mine, is in very, very capable hands with you, my love, and the other folks who are part of our team. So, thank you for that.
Jess and Elsa were going around. They did an awesome job, and yeah, everything went really well. I mean, we checked in with each other a few times, and just like, everything was fine, which was super nice. I think it's we've become quite a well-oiled machine now, and I think we found that when we launched issue 6. I think that was the first time after we did that launch, you and I sat down together, and I was like, so that was weirdly calm. It's like, it really was, because normally we're quite frantic, but I think having Jess and Elsa on the team has definitely helped. So
absolutely. Abso-fucking-lutely. So yeah. So that was the wedding, and now I'm back for 2 weeks, and then on a little summer vacation, but I'm going to be taking a little bit of work with me because I like the work, not because I expect anyone else to do work while they're on vacation, but I actually enjoy it. It's nice to have a little bit of time and just like a different space, like physical space to be in. Just there's something about, being in a different physical space that helps me plan out things and see, what we might want to do next year, which, well, we're going to be talking about one of the things that we're going to be doing next year at the end of this episode. So
it's very exciting.
Like, but there's a double-digit issue coming up.
I can't believe we're up to number 10. Number 10.
Me neither. Yeah. But I'm getting ahead of myself. We wanted to talk about knitting.
Yes.
So, should I just jump right in?
Yeah, show us what's on your needles.
Okay, I have 3 things. I promised last time I would be showing a finished serendipity. No. So, the first thing is that I owe a huge apology to Tanya because I have mispronounced Tanya's name. Tanya is the wonderful designer of the Serendipity, which is from our issue 7. Uh, I've pronounced her name wrong the entire time. So it's Tanya de Joie, not de Joy.
Ah.
Yeah, I'm really sorry about Tanya. And thank you for being so graceful about it. So my serendipity tea,
Serendipity.
serendipity
Serendipity.
t-shirt.
There you go.
Yeah, is I went full steam ahead and got I mean the back you've already seen finished, and then I finished the front like way before, well, not way before the wedding, but the week before the wedding, I think. And stuff, and then I was like, yeah, great, just seaming. And so I started seaming the one shoulder,
Ooh.
and then I had seamed the one shoulder. I was just about to decide whether I'm happy with the neckline and stuff, when it occurred to me that maybe I should have blocked this before, because I didn't. And the thing about seams is that they add a lot of integrity to a piece, aka they're making it stiff, which is good if you have like a little bit of a floppy summer t-shirt that can use a bit of structure. But it's not great if you have something like these lovely little eyelets
Yeah.
that should open up and blocking, and you're taking away all of their lovely space by seaming this thing. So see, like here is the seam, and this is like, I mean, it's sewn together, right? With mattress stitch, or like not sewn, but like with mattress stitch. And so they don't have any space to move anywhere. So I thought that was the stupid thing that I did there. I need to prep that seam back and block those babies and then seam it.
I mean,
And I just haven't gotten around to doing
you
that.
could seam the other one and then not seam the sides, and because it's like a boat neck, you could just lay it all completely flat that way. But I know what you mean. You still
Yeah,
open it
that's
up
true. But the thing is, like, it would still open it up this way, which is fine, which is what I want. But it
that
also
way.
needs to have a little bit of stretch that way. And
Yeah.
see, that stretch that I have here, this is like one of the open sides. That is,
Yeah.
oops, not really, not really there anymore.
No. Yeah, you're right. Rip it back. Rip it back.
So, and it's not like this is literally just, this is going to be a matter of like 10 minutes sitting down and ripping out the mattress stitch. It's no big deal. I just literally have not had the time, and I didn't want to take something like this that is so close to finishing with me on our little
Yeah.
honeymoon. So yeah, but I'm really really excited about it.
It
Like,
looks
this will
gorgeous.
be great.
I love that colour.
Me too.
It
Me
looks really
too.
good on you.
And you know what? Thank you. I still have yarn left over. I ordered, I believe, 6 skeins, so 300 grams. So I'm knitting this in the yarn that this was originally designed for, Kelborn Woolens Mojave, which is a cotton linen blend. Colorway is mauve. Mauve.
It depends.
Oh wait.
It depends where you are. It's either
wait.
mauve or mauve. Depends what part of England you're
Okay. That color. And I ordered, I believe, 300 grams, and I think, I'm trying to see if I can see them anywhere. I think I have at least 2 skeins, so 100 grams left over. And
That's awesome.
yeah, this is a size 4, I think, 3 or 4.
That's
So
awesome.
yeah, I mean, I could have made, it's going to be interesting to see, because the thing is, like, the body is going to block out quite a bit longer, which is what I wanted. I for sure could have made it longer, but I also didn't want to. Like, I purposefully wanted to be this, like, in a crop thing. But yeah, I was really surprised.
That's awesome. So if you are watching
yeah.
this and you do want to knit serendipity and worried about how much yarn you're going to need. Clearly, you know,
Not a
you don't
lot.
need a ton of it. And
Yeah.
if you want to make it longer, you can definitely
No.
do that without having to purchase a ton of yarn. I love that
Yeah,
pattern. I
absolutely.
remember as soon as we saw the submission for that one, we kind of both, it kind of like ticked so many
Yeah.
boxes. It's, yeah, that's on my list at some point as well, when I ever get round to knitting all of the things.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. I'm not gonna lie, it was a labor of love. I mean, garter stitch on 2.75 millimeter needles in a cotton linen blend is not going to be my favorite thing. So,
Yeah, but garter
but
knit flat though is like, it's very
yeah,
good. I do like that for a little bit of TV watching as well.
very true. Very, very true. So yeah. So that's my serendipity. Ser
Yeah, you said it
anyways.
right.
Um, And I was very good about my cast on. So I remember in the last podcast episode, I shared two things that I wanted to cast on, and I cast on both of them. So I actually have something to show and didn't deviate from my plans. When
Nice.
has this ever happened before? So yeah, my trusted the Knitter project bag, which is my
Lovely.
go-to for socks, and I've had this. I think this is from like the first print edition that we did, and it's just holding up incredibly well. So, so I took one thing with me to the wedding because we went to the venue a little bit beforehand, and I figured it would be nice to have something on the needles just to calm the nerves while
Yeah.
I'm there. I didn't get around to doing a lot of knitting, but I did some knitting on the way there in the car, so it was about 2 hours. And then I have a lovely memory of I think that was the Thursday morning. So we went to the venue on the Wednesday evening, and the guests started arriving Thursday night, and then we had a relaxed Friday, and then Saturday was the big day with the wedding celebration and the party. And so I didn't really sleep that much during that week.
Yeah.
I wasn't super nervous before the big day, but whenever there's a lot going on, like my body is just like, nah, I'm good. I don't need that much sleep. So on the Thursday, I woke up, I think at like 5. And so I snuck out of the apartment and actually sat down at the edge of the farm that we were celebrating. There was a little bench overlooking some fields, and I sat down with my knitting and like just knit for like half an hour, and
Oh, that's
it was great.
nice.
It was lovely. And so what I knit on are the line
I love
socks
those.
by Dawn Henderson. They're a super cute top-down ankle sock pair with this very cute is this feather and fan? No, it's not traditional feather and fan,
I don't think
but kind of
I don't think
like,
it's a traditional one, but it's very, it gives the
nah.
same fit. I love that shaping that it gives.
Yeah. It's a really cute sort of ankle band that you create with a little bit of lace, and this, and just because of the way that you increase and decrease creates this scallop edge. And then you have a traditional heel flap and gusset, and then you just work your way down the foot. And so yeah, so this is what I got.
Ooh,
Not
that's a nice
not a
color.
lot.
I like
Yes,
that.
isn't it? So, this is this yarn is honestly it's a dream to knit
Looks
with.
beautiful.
I am very inclined that we maybe add some of this to the shop for some sock celebration next year. Um, it's a yarn from Spain, from El Roble de la Santa. They have a little farm in Spain, and they have their own mohair, um, mohair goats, and I also think some other animals. I'm not super sure. And this is their moherino blend, which is 50% their own mohair and 50% local to them merino,
Ooh.
which is a dream. And it's this really gorgeous dusky
I
pink.
love that color.
So they hand dye them I mean, it's like they're growing the fiber, they're caring for the animals, they're sourcing local merino, they're working with a small mill in Spain to make this
Yes,
incredible yarn, and then they hand dye it. It's like it has our name written
it
all
really
over it, right?
does.
It's really good yarn. And the thing about mohair is because it's such a long staple and strong fiber, it should make for a really good sock yarn. So it will give the merino quite a bit of strength. Um, Strength, yeah, let's go. And it also gives us this what's happening with me today? This lovely halo. So yeah, I am incredibly happy with how this is knitting up. We it remains to be seen whether this is going to be a pair for me or possibly my sister, who has slightly smaller feet than me. Um, because what I hadn't realized about the pattern, which I think is a little bit sad that it is that way, but alas, it is that way, is it only comes in two sizes. And it's a 64 and 70 something stitch count, I believe. 64 and 72 stitch count. And I did a little bit of a stupid, well, not a little bit of a stupid thing. I just really didn't think straight. In my defense, it was the week of my wedding,
Yeah.
so that's okay. I cast on 64 stitches. I did a couple of rounds. I realized no, they were going to be too big for me because the yarn is on the heavier, like slightly thicker end of a sock yarn.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry if you can hear some background noise. I have the window open and there's like whatever, some machine. So it's on the heavier end of a sock yarn, and I usually knit my socks on 56 stitches with quite a tight gauge.
Mm-hmm.
And so I got really worried that they would be too big for me. And then I was like, okay, it's fine. I'll just scale it down to 56 stitches. And then when I got to the chart, because this little pattern is charted, I was like, oh damn, it's a repeat of 16 stitches. So I cannot do 56 stitches. I can only do 48 stitches. So I ripped it out and I started with 48. Now that we're talking about this, and I'm saying that there's a 72 stitch version, there's another chart with 18 stitches. So I could have gone to, what is that? Three times. I could have gone to 54, which would have, is that right? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. 3 times this chart repeat would have given me 54.
Well,
it's fine.
You know what? Knit them.
We'll see how.
Knit them and see how they fit. And
exactly.
You love knitting socks, and if you like the pattern, you could always do the other version.
Yeah.
Then you and your sister can match.
I'm actually. Oh yeah, and I'm not like, I mean, she's the best sister in the world. She deserves all the hand knit socks. So I'm not mad if I need to give them to her. I'm not even worried about the fit in the foot because that's quite stretchy. I'm just a bit worried about this.
Yeah.
I don't think I can fit this over my instep.
No, I know what you mean. I'd be the same way. Beautiful though. I love that pattern.
It's a lovely pattern. I really enjoy it.
I
love the yarn. So yeah. So I knit on this on and off, and I also took this with me. We did a little mini honeymoon just to the Baltic Sea, David and I, for a couple of days. So I also took that with me, but then I was sitting there and I was like, I'm really not feeling like the tiny stitches because that was a lot of tiny stitches. Yeah. And luckily I had packed this bag full with Garthenor beacons for my coloring book raglan, which I swatched for in the round.
Good work.
It's an okay sized swatch.
It's okay.
Question?
It's okay.
It's okay.
You know.
Yeah, it's not clear sized swatch. It's
It's better than your serendipity
It's
swatch, so yeah.
that is true. So I swatched. I also swatched twice because I originally swatched on 4.5 millimeter needles and I didn't like the fabric. It wasn't loose enough for my taste, so I swatched again with 5 millimeter needles, and that was perfect.
Nice. Ooh, that's a
And
nice
then
needle size. I like 5 mils.
I cast on my coloring book
Oh,
raglan.
it's gonna be so good. That again, that is
It's
also on
gonna
my
be so
list
good.
to knit because
I am so
yeah,
excited to have this in my wardrobe for fall. So I haven't printed out the pattern, so I cannot show you a photo of the version that I'm knitting. But this is a pattern by Amy Shear, and it comes in two variations. And by combining the two, you can make, I think, like a million.
yeah, it's
I
really
am
good.
knitting version B, which is going to be a cropped 3/4 length sleeves pullover, and the sleeves are going to be wide, so no shaping in the sleeves, and obviously with those yellow
Oh,
stripes on
that
the body.
yellow, it's so good.
And so I am incredibly excited about this. It's a top down, pretty straightforward raglan with some short row shaping at the back, and I really like the neckline.
I love that neckline.
I really like
It's the
how
perfect
it looks.
size.
Um, and oh my God, the yarn. I mean, I've knit with the yarn before, but it's just so fucking good.
It's gorgeous.
It's just so good. So I had a hunch that this would look great in Garthen or Beacons, which technically is a DK weight, but as you can see, I'm knitting this on 5 millimeter needles, almost exactly to the gauge of the pattern, which is for a worsted weight
Oh, nice.
yarn. So it's just light and like not super drapey, but just drapey enough. Kind of wanted something that has the same feeling as my citrine sweater that I knit in Ulyss. So something lightweight but still warm. And this is just so good. And like the colorway, the
I
main colorway is
love
called
that.
Marble,
It's such a good colour.
and it's everything. So it's a 3-ply, and 2 of the plies are white, and 1 of the plies is gray, which gives this super lovely, subtle, marled effect. And I mean, the blend is it's like baby bum soft.
Baby bum soft. We
It's
should put that on the website.
Yep,
Quote from Hanna
we should.
Lisa. Baby bum soft.
Baby bum soft.
I love it.
So what makes this yarn so baby bum soft? It's 75% Polwarth, 22% Romney, and 3% Hebridean. And especially the Polwarth is just so, like, it's just super nice and super soft. And so if you're in the camp of like, I'm not super sure if this natural yarn thing is for me, like I I do like things that are really soft and gentle next to skin. This is for you.
Yeah.
Like this is just really, this is ideal for baby knits, for kid knits, for everything. So if you're curious and you want to dip your toes into some more natural yarns like Garthen or Beacons, is where it's at. And we have an awesome color selection on the website.
We do.
Little plug.
The gorgeous.
So yeah.
Link below. Link below.
This is like, this would just look like next to you, to your pillow.
Oh, that colour.
You're looking at me like,
no.
What?
No, that colour is...
What are you even talking about?
That colour is my... Well, look what surrounds me. I just want yellow things all the time. It's funny when you said... I'd seen that pattern and I was like, oh my God, I love that pattern. And straight away I wanted version B. I was like, ooh, in a neutral with a yellow stripe is exactly what I want to knit. And then the next thing we were talking,
We could be twins.
you were like, I'm going to knit this in this colour and this colour. And I was like, our brains have melded somewhere along the way. I'm going to nick it from you.
Yep.
You knit it and then I'll come over and nick it.
That is fine. Yep. So, yeah. that's everything that I have on my needles.
I love
And
it.
very, very happy about this. Like especially about the sweater.
Oh, I'm
I kind of have an
excited.
itch now to rip out the socks. I mean, I'm not far into the
You could
socks, and
do.
like maybe cast them on with a 54. We'll
You
see.
could do.
But I have a feeling that I'm going to be knitting a lot on the sweater anyways. And then I have another exciting sweater. I just want to knit all of the
I'm
sweaters.
the
I need
same
to finish
way.
one more sweater before issue 8 comes out. So I need to finish this, and then I have a whole mountain of unspun yarn sitting over there that wants to become a cardigan. So that needs to happen.
I
And then I
know.
already know what I'm going to be casting on for issue 8. So
Do you? What are you going to cast on for issue
mhm.
8? See, my brain skipped an issue because I saw the Technical page when I was chatting to Jess
Mhm.
about it. So my brain went to issue 9. I'm like, I know what I'm
Yes.
knitting from issue 9. And we've got issue 8 next, so I need to pick what I'm knitting from that.
I I want to knit everything again.
I
So
know.
I just picked out the photos for like the digital editing today, and I think I am going to cast on pyrite. Pirate,
Yes.
pirate, pirate.
Yes.
Not pirate. That would be awesome. Could we do a pirate themed issue?
Yes. Issue 2, we've not decided for issue 10 yet. We could do
No,
pirates.
we have not. We could do pirates. Uh, Culturally a little bit insensitive, I think. So maybe we don't do that.
Yeah.
But
Nautical.
no, pyrite. And now you all have to wait. We're gonna hold you in suspense. What
Ooh.
this sweater is.
Oh, it's
Has cable.
gorgeous. Yeah, that is really nice.
Yeah.
There's tons in that issue I want to
So
knit though.
yeah.
So,
Yeah, I know.
so I
How about you?
don't. So, I'm very sorry. I have been knitting away on my Merrymaker and I'm getting there. And
Have you ripped back again?
no, no, why does it look even smaller than it did before? No, I have added length to it, I promise. But I talked a lot about that. If you want to hear more, check out our last episode too. I'm going to be working away on it, and definitely need to get it finished before issue 8 is on the horizon. But today I thought I'd share some other plans with you, plus an FO that you have seen before but has had a little bit of a change because we have a little bit of a theme running in July. And if you've been on our blog already, you will have seen a new post from us that we launched on last Thursday. And it's all about caring for your knits. This is an area of sustainability that we've not really delved into a ton, and it's quite a big area because along with trying to make a garment that you actually love and gonna wear for years to come, and choosing a yarn that's sustainable for you and all the rest of it, caring for your knits, so having that lovely thing and making sure you have it for years to come, also involves taking care of it. So this month we've been looking into all the kind of topics that surround that issue. And if you read that blog post, you will already have seen what I'm going to show you, but in case you haven't, one of my tips, because it's called Tips from the Team, where we all share our tips for caring for our knits, and one of mine was to show this, which is, I'm quite hard on my knitting. I'm quite rough. I'm not a delicate person necessarily. I sprawl around a lot. So I can wear holes in my elbows and snag things. So I did this recently, which
I
is
love this so much.
oh,
It turned out so
it's
gorgeous.
fun, isn't
So
it? It's a
good.
little elbow reinforcement that I did, just to kind of give myself a little bit of extra padding there. Uh, this is my Vanilla Heirloom sweater that I knit using Knitting for Olive's Double Soft Merino. Um, and I've knit this pattern a few times. I love a vanilla sweater, like a stockinette raglan sweater. I wear them with everything. I think this is my I've got 3 versions of this sweater, and this is now the one that has these fun flowery little elbow patches on. So I thought I'd show them off to you today because I'm really happy with how they turned out. So for this, I put my sweater on and I marked where my elbows landed. and then made myself a little template, and I did a basting stitch around it basically. And then once I had that rough guide, I just went in with the same yarn that and this isn't a technique that I've created. You've probably seen wool embroidery everywhere. I absolutely love it. So I took inspiration from a few different places, but I used the same yarn, and I just started embroidering little flowers using the basting area as a guide. And I think it's really fun. And it's a really nice way.
It's super cute.
Well, and it's
And what I love,
Oh no, you go.
what I love about it is that you did the thing with a little, like with a little circle, and especially because you have a couple of these little half flowers there, like it just looks really, I think it looks really crisp and sweet at the same time. Like I just love it so
That's what
much.
I
It's super
wanted. I
nice.
didn't want it to look too perfectly fixed, but at the same time, I didn't want it to look too sporadic either. So yeah, I was really happy with it. So I thought I'd show it off just to show that you can do if mending and things like that. You're like, oh, or reinforcing your knits is kind of like, it feels like a chore. You can have a lot of fun with it as well. You can do whatever you like. I think when it comes to when we chat about sustainability and things like that, there's a lot of like, it's a serious subject in a lot of ways, and there can be a lot of heavy topics with it. But also, it doesn't have to be like this super serious thing all the time. You can be sustainable and reinforce your knits and have a lot of fun, and do whatever you like, basically. Just have fun with your knitting is what I'm trying to say. Like, it doesn't have to be a super serious thing. And if one day you decide you just want to put flowers on your elbows, you should just do it, because it's fun. And then it feels like you're wearing like a super plain top that goes with everything. And then you can just like peek your elbows at people and be like, hey, look at my florally
I
elbows.
love this so much.
So yeah, I wanted to share that with you today. Um, and also share the book that I talk about on that blog post. So this is actually a gift from my lovely friend Hanna Lisa. I think you sent me this for Christmas, didn't you? Because I was talking about getting into to Mending, and they've also used little flowers embroidered on there too, and it's just a really fun book. So if mending is something that you don't really enjoy doing with your knitting, really give this book a go. It's got so many fun ideas of things you can do in it, and not just to mend your knits, but also add like a few little personalised touches to look at those fun socks. I think they're so good. So this is Visible Creative Mending. It's by Flora Collingwood Norris, and they're on Instagram as well, so you can check out their Instagram account too if you fancy it. But yeah, I just thought I'd show you those things and my flowery elbows. And then I actually have a sewing project. Well, it's not quite a project yet. It's sewing plans that I know we're normally all about knitting, but it's the summer and I've been getting more into sewing. And I have some fabric that's been in my stash for a good few years now because I'm afraid to use it because I don't want to mess it up.
I can't blame you.
But
But at the same time, it deserves to be worn. Oh my
it
God.
does, and it's from a very special person who we both love. This is some of Katie Green's fabric, and this is the British sheep breeds. And I think this is on, I can't quite remember, I think it's a cotton sateen. It's not super heavyweight, and it's very slippery. So I'm not a like I don't know like all the terms for sewing, so the handle's slippery. It's super soft and super smooth. There we go, smooth. And it's got all of her illustrations of British sheep breeds on there, and I love this shirt fabric. Well, I say it's fabric, but I'm going to make a shirt from it. So I've picked a shirt pattern from Deer and Doe. I'm not going to be able to pronounce this correctly. I think it's called Milliot. I'll put the link below of what I'm planning on doing, and it's a lovely shirt. It's got a couple of different versions to it, but the reason I picked it is because it doesn't have a set-in sleeve. Because I'm being a big old wuss. It's got like I guess a dolman sleeve, and you just put like the caps on, which I think, because I'm kind of a newbie sewer when it comes to garments. I'm doing an online course and I want to get better at it, but I am going to put a little collar on it. I'm going to do the collar.
Wow.
I know. So yeah, that's my sewing plans. So I just wanted to show you, because I know we're big fans of Katie Green here. We don't stock her fabric in the shop, but we do have some other goodies in there. We have the beautiful ribbon tape that you can use, which is lovely, especially if you do a lot of cardigan steeking. And that's got all the British sheep breeds on it as well. And we have some of the gift cards yet. I don't think, did we sell out of the tea towels? I don't think we have any of the tea towels.
Yeah, we don't have any of the tea towels, so I'm hoping that we get some more of the tea towels maybe for the fall/Christmas, because they make for awesome gifts. So
beautiful.
We have the sheep ribbon in stock, which, as you said, like also has the beautiful British sheep breeds illustrations. And then we have some really fun greeting cards that I love.
Really
and we still do have a handful, but not a lot of her stamps. So especially as, I mean, it's July. I'm in my head, I am already in next year. So talking about Christmas comes very naturally to me. But, you know, if you are gearing up for Christmas gift production, as some knitters are wont to do, you know, like the stamps and the cards, the greeting cards and the sheep ribbon, they all make for lovely gifts or for lovely little touches to, you know, wrap your hand knits with, make little labels.
Oh, that's such a nice
with
idea.
The stamps. Usually have, you're not going to see very much, but we have a large stamp, so this size, that says handmade, and it has little little ball of yarn and some plants on it. And then we have a tiny little one.
Oh, I love her illustrations as well.
And the tiny little one also has a ball of yarn with handmade around it, but it doesn't have the you're not going to be able to see anything, but you can see them on the website. If you are in the market for something with the sheep breeds, but you cannot use the steeking ribbon for anything, we always have the washi tape. Right. I was just looking for the third one, the white one. So we have her awesome washi tape, which I'm always using to wrap anything and everything. Comes in like craft paper brown, in black, and in a white. And you can get a set of all three, or just whichever color you love. So
I love washi tape. I stick washi tape everywhere. It's so handy. I found a piece on Tilly the other day. She must have like rubbed a little face because she was like, poor thing.
No, it's very handy. I marked all of the boxes of all of the things for the wedding with like handwritten signs, like this is this and it needs to go there, and it had all of the sheet washi tape all over it. So it holds up incredibly well. I can attest to that. And Katie is just an all around awesome human being. And the fabric that you showed me reminded me that Katie made a boiler suit out of the heavier weight fabric with the same print.
It's so good.
She's awesome. I'm just my God. I'm in awe of what Katie makes. Like, yeah,
she's such a good Katie's sewer. She's I get a lot of inspiration. I see what she's doing. I'm like, oh, I should go try and sew that. And then I get the fabric out and I'm like, I'm gonna wreck that. I'm gonna put it back in the cupboard. But it's out now, and I'm gonna make something. You know,
I cannot wait.
So it's gonna be really nice. I'm excited to wear that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was all my makes, and I promise by the time you see me next time, I will have the body of my Merrymaker done. I'm saying it now to hold myself to it, because I'm actually not that far from doing it. I only have one more colour stripe and then the ribbing. So yeah,
that's actually not that far.
It's not that far. So what have I been doing? So I'm gonna make sure I do that.
You could binge watch if you haven't watched it yet. The latest season of Marvelous Mrs. Maisel is on Amazon Prime.
I watched it as the second it came out. I watched that
Oh,
because it was out at Christmas,
okay.
wasn't it?
Oh, it was.
It's been out a
See,
while.
really? Okay, let's talk about something else. Let's not.
Maybe it wasn't Christmas. Maybe it was like just right after. But yeah, I did that.
It might have very well been Christmas.
I don't know. It was good though. I watched it because I love that show.
I still haven't watched the new Stranger Things season. We need to start
I
that.
have
But I'm
one
rewatching How
left.
to Get Away with Murder.
I have one episode left.
Okay.
Apparently
Yeah.
it's amazing. So I was kind of mad at Chris the other night because we were up to the very last episode, but it's 2.5 hours long, the last episode. I know, so it's like
What?
a really long film. And he was like, I want to play Fortnite with my brother, and I was like, okay.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I kind of prioritized finishing Horizon after like 4 years of when did it come out? It was
Oh,
for sure before Oren was born because I remember
yeah.
the last time that I really played it, I was pregnant.
Yeah. Well, the
So
second one's out now, isn't
I
it?
never finished it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it is. And David's playing it. And so now I'm just kind of going through all of the fun side quests. So I finished the main
Nice.
storyline of the first one and now I'm doing the side quests. And he's playing the new one, Forbidden West, which looks awesome. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. I I it's I mean there was a reason why I didn't play it for a couple of years, and that's because I usually don't like. Sorry, this is not like a video games podcast, but apparently it now is because we
We
both
both,
also
yeah,
love video
that's true.
games, and our husbands also do.
Yeah.
So I'm not a bow and arrow kind of
See,
person.
I am
It's never been
with
me.
it.
I am Diablo 3 all the way. Just hack things down with your sword. Always, always, always. Just go.
See, you're like my
Like
friend
there's no
Loz.
technique. There's just brutality in my gameplay. And so Horizon is an absolutely magnificent game with, from my perspective, the only fault that you really, really, really have to use the bow and arrow. You cannot survive without actually mastering it. And so I was so frustrated because I did not understand the game. Like I did not. Like I actually leveled up to level like 20 something and I just kept getting killed by these machines because I couldn't operate the thing that I was supposed to play with, but I was just going at it with
You're running at it, hitting it with your bow.
with the so yeah, exactly. No, you actually have like a little lance
Yeah.
thing, but it doesn't really do any damage. And it also, I mean, there's a little bit more finesse behind it than you just need to go up to like a thing and just hit it. Like you
Yeah.
can scan it and then you can see the weaknesses and then you can select if you wanted to use a fire arrow or a shock arrow, all of which is too advanced gameplay for me. It's not how I usually play. And so I asked David for help. I was like, can you sit down and teach me how to play this? Because I really want to finish it because it's awesome and the new one is out and I really want to finish this, but it's just so frustrating. And he watched me play and he was like, oh my God, what? We are going to start at basics.
Oh my god, maybe
Like,
we should do a
and now it's
podcast
super
on
fun.
gaming because I could talk for hours about video games. I just started
Yeah.
Fallout New Vegas, which is a really old game now, but I got out the old Xbox 360 to play it on.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's so much fun because I've even got. See, this is our house. I've got my Fallout water glass right here. I think I've got like
Love it.
a bobblehead over there somewhere. So yeah, we are big gaming people too. I
Yeah.
find a lot of
If you-
fitnesses are gamers though. It's like a
Yeah,
hand-eye
I
coordination thing, I think.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think so. It is. So people, if you want to have an extra special episode where we just talk about video games, let us know. The For me, one of the main things is that I've always been a gamer, but I've been a computer gamer. I was very good at Unreal Tournament when I was a teenager. All of the parents just closed their eyes and ears because yeah, like played Lego shooters when I was 14, and I was very good at it. But it was always on my computer. I never had a console before David, and David always had a console, and so those are two very different things.
Yeah.
So it's like things that are for him very natural, like the hand-eye coordination with the console controller. For me, I'm like, what is R1 again? And what is R2 again? What?
I still do that because I'm terrible in
So,
my left and my right. So I'll be, if I'm left to my own, I'm fine. If Chris is there, then he's like, hit left bumper, hit the left bumper, hit the left bumper. And I'm like, I'm hitting it. He's like, no, you're not. You're hitting the left trigger or you're hitting the right bumper. And I'm like, mashing things.
I love it when they, so we definitely went through a phase of where he was like, oh my God, what on earth are you doing? And then it became fun for him to teach me. And then I got good at it. And then he got proud. That's nice. And now he's sitting there screaming like, you need to use the shock thing. You need to use the shock thing. I'm like, I'm using the shock thing. He's like, no, the other shock thing. Like, do you mean the bump? No, the other shock thing. Like, do you mean the tear arrow? Yes. Then just say that you mean that. Not the shock thing. Okay,
Chris gets really worked up trying to tell me things, especially I kind of might have to stop playing Fortnite with him, which is like, I play with my friends in England and we just go around and have fun. He takes it very seriously, Chris, and I'm like, oh my God.
Okay.
He's like, stop firing, you're giving away our position. I'm like, oh my God, I just want to shoot things.
Yeah. Yep.
Anyway.
So yeah, moving away from video games to sort of the last section of this now knitting and video gaming podcast. Just two sort of announcements. I think there's two. If I'm missing anything, just let me know. We've already mentioned our issue 10 a couple of times in this episode. So we're starting to work on our fall and winter 2023 issue. What? Yep. We have like a year and a quarter usually of lead time. So it's about time that we get started on issue 10. I cannot believe issue 10. At the end of next year, it's going to be 5 years of Making Stories magazine. What?
That's mad.
It's mad.
That's mad.
It's especially mad because I remember that we launched the first issue when I was pregnant. And I was like, this wasn't that long ago. Oh. I have a walking, talking human being living with me, and it's not just David. So issue 10, we, by the time that this podcast comes out, we will have a call for submissions up. So if you are a designer or a writer or a visual artist and you would like to submit your idea or ideas to us, go to the website. We'll include the link down below. We we'll have put together a mood board and information about how it's like to work with us and all of the timelines, so you can find that, all of that. And the submissions will stay open for about a month, so until mid-August. I don't have the exact date, but we can put that down below. So you'll also find that in the call for submissions. Yeah, and we would love for you to submit your design ideas or essay ideas or poems or illustrations, all of the above. And don't be afraid if you're a new designer. We also love working with new designers. So, you don't need to have 15 million patterns under your belt to work with us.
I'm excited.
So, and if you're not a designer, but you know of designers or you would like to spread the word about the call for submissions, we would be really grateful for that as well, because it just, we want to get it in front of as many eyes as possible so that everyone gets a chance to submit their pattern. So that was announcement number 1. And announcement number 2 is that we are gearing up for the launch of issue 8, which is coming out on September 1st. And we have something really exciting again for everyone who is subscribed to the magazine with an annual subscription. We started doing that for issue 7, and like it was just great. Everyone loved it. Like we loved it, you loved it. So we're doing it again. We're launching something that we call early access to the wool cave. So for issue 8, we have a few lovely, lovely new yarns that will be hitting the shop, and our subscribers, our annual subscribers, get first dibs. So on August 8th, we'll open the doors to the virtual wool cave for them, and they will be able to pick from the new yarns and the new yarn kits, and then everything will ship out together with their subscription copy. So this time, the doors to the wool cave will be open for 1 week only. So there's 1 week, and then we start shipping everything out, and then everyone else can start shopping the yarns on September 1st, together with the release of the magazine. If you are not an annual subscriber yet, now would be a really good time to get subscribed, because that means that you get early access to the wool cave together with everyone else who is subscribed with an annual subscription on August 8th. So yeah, we would love to invite you to become one. It's really one of my great joys. I think we have about like 250, 300 subscribers at this point. And every time that someone purchases an annual subscription, it just makes my heart sing. Like it means so much to me, because it means that you see us and that you invest in our work and that you trust us. So yeah, consider becoming a subscriber and getting early access to the wool cave. We'll also put a link down below to the subscription. So yeah.
Awesome.
Alrighty. That was everything from us, I think.
Yeah.
Cool. Alrighty. Then we will see you back here in
2 weeks.
2 weeks. Wow. Super cool.
Yay.
Alrighty. Until then, take good care. Ooh, I wanted to ask everyone if you have like caring for your knits/mending tips, things that you are doing with your knits, tips that you want to share, just comment down below.
Yes.
Like we always love hearing about them. And if you like this episode, give it a thumbs up, send it to a knitting friend or 10. And we'll see you here again next time.
Yay. See you
Alrighty.
soon. Bye.